All right, we're live here, aren't we? Yes, we are. Everything looks good, looks to be set. Hopefully you're tuning in now as I'm talking. This is a Blackbird Farm live. Anne-Marie asked me to do this. She thought this would be a fun idea, and I said, yeah, that'd be a great idea. Let's do it. Because this time of year, all year round, but really this time of year, and any time where we have specialties, special holidays like Easter or 4th of July, or but definitely now during the holiday season in December, people are buying a lot of big roasts, a lot of big hams, and they're always sending me messages. How do I cook this thing? What do I do with this? Oh my God, I don't want to ruin this beautiful piece of meat because, let's be honest, when you buy a 10-pound rib roast from Blackbird Farm, it is spectacular and special, but it's also quite an expensive piece of meat, and you don't want to mess it up. And so I get a lot of emails, a lot of questions from people. Please, if you're here watching and you have a question, feel free to throw it there into the chat, into the comments. I see who's watching here, but if you want to have a comment or anything, please put that in there. Hopefully I'll see them all pop up. We're going to talk about roasts. Basically, there's one way, the best way, in my opinion, and obviously there's lots of different ways, but in my opinion, the best way to cook a roast from Blackbird Farm, be it a rib roast, a sirloin roast, one of the beautiful tenderloin roasts, or a New York strip roast, which we still got some of those left at the farm stand. I know Anne-Marie has been selling like crazy today. She's had one of our record Thursdays today. I think it might be our highest sales in records. I just checked with her before I got on the live here, and selling like crazy. I believe there's one 10-pound bone-in rib roast left. One, at least there was as of about an hour ago. So if you want that roast, you should get in touch with Anne-Marie at the farm stand or head over to the farm stand right now. The farm stand is open today until 6 p.m. This is Thursday, the 23rd, or 22nd. Thursday the 22nd right now. Open till 6 p.m. Friday the 23rd will be open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I know it's supposed to be miserable rain, but we'll be there. Well, I won't be there, thankfully. I mean, Anne-Marie's the salesperson. She'll be there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday, the 23rd of December. And then on Christmas Eve, December 24th, she'll only be at the farm stand from 9 a.m. to noon. That's it. These are your chances. And if you don't want to roast, we got plenty of steaks, chops. We got a lot of pork loins. They're smaller roasts. You could also cook them this method that I'm going to describe to you here. They're maybe around 2 or 3 pounds. Delicious, fantastic roasts. You can grab pork shoulder. You can do pulled pork. But we got a lot of bone-in ribeyes, steaks, chops. If if you're just cooking for 1 or 2 people, those are also fantastic. And of course, gift cards. The best gift of all, right? I mean, you can give the gift of meat, but not actual meat. But you can give actual meat if you want to do that too, or you can give a gift card. We get gift cards. We upgraded to actual plastic gift cards this year, which is fantastic. Everyone's loving them, selling like crazy. So, roasting. First, I'm going to crack open. You got to crack open a beer before you roast, or some other type of festive holiday drink. I'm going with Rhode Island's own Chair 2 Light Lager. Why Chair 2 Light Lager? Well, it's a light beer, and I still have a lot of things to do today. So, we're keeping it easy for the beginning. The number one thing I tell everyone who emails me or messages or goes to the farm stand, and Anne-Marie gets them on the phone and says, hey, talk to Dave. The number one thing you should have when cooking our meats, or cooking any meats, cooking a lot of different things in your kitchen, is a thermometer. I have 3 here. You don't have to have them as fancy as I have here, but you should get yourself a good meat thermometer, please. If you don't know, it's a little bit late now, unfortunately, to do it online. ThermoWorks is the company that I myself have an affiliation with, affiliated with the farm. ThermoWorks, if you look at the farm's Facebook page or the Eat Drink RI website and you see shopping, ThermoWorks products are the products that are on those pages to order online. You probably can't get those right now, so you'll have to go to a store to buy a thermometer if you don't have one. So you can't buy the ThermoWorks thermometers that I'm going to show you, but you don't have to. You can get Polder or I can't think of the brand name. I've seen it, at the big box Bed Bath store. Obviously, it's best if you go to a small mom and pop shop, but not a lot of small mom and pop shops carry thermometers. Get yourself. This is an instant read. This is the ThermaPen 1. As you can see, as soon as I opened it, it read the temperature in here. This thing is fast. It's crazy. It's $100 generally. I love it. excuse me, as I said, being an affiliate, I got a big discount on these, so I love these things. They're fantastic. So what this is, instant read. If I got a big hunk of meat on the smoke or something, or anything, I use this instant read all the time. I use this a lot with steaks. Pop it in, instantly tells you the temperature inside the meat. Very valuable. Love this. However, for roasts, not what you should have. Not that you shouldn't have that, but not what you should have for roasts. This is what you need to have for a roast. Absolutely, without a doubt. It's called a probe thermometer. This is the probe. This is the base for it. As you can see it here. This goes inside your meat, stays inside your meat. The cord comes out of the oven. This sits outside the oven. This is extremely valuable for cooking roast. This is the way to do it. It's the only way to guarantee your roast is cooked right. Because the thing with our roasts, yes, we try to be consistent. We have all the same sizes roughly, but there's still, there's variations. You have bone in, not bone. Big, honking pieces of a New York strip are sometimes much thinner than the thickness of a rib roast. So you really need to gauge the temperature to get the best way of knowing what your meat's going to be cooked at. So, and then the third option I have here, this is a meter. This is a wireless probe thermometer. I enjoy this quite a bit because I could keep this in the meat, just like the other probe thermometer, but it's wireless. So I have an app that I can track things and so on and so forth. But you don't have to get that fancy. Any questions here on the live? How do I see? Swipe left to reveal comments and reactions. Nope, no questions or anything yet. Okay, well, if you have any questions, throw it there in the chat. I'm going to quickly run you through how to cook one of our roasts, and then that'll be the end of it for me. Thank you, as always, for watching. Thank you, as always, for shopping Blackbird Farm. That's really the key. It is a small, family-owned, single-family, single point-of-source family farm. And, all the meat that's raised there is raised on site. Brandon knows all the animals. He takes care of all the animals. Everything, that goes to slaughter comes from animals that we're aware of, their growth patterns and their numbers and all things like that. So it's really, not inexpensive. I'm not going to say it's, an expensive thing, but it's important for your health to eat healthier. I find myself eating a lot less meat when I eat my meat from Blackbird Farm. So that's good for your health too. Check them out. As I said, farm stand open till 6 p.m. today, 9 to 6 p.m. on the 23rd of December, and 9 to noon on the 24th of December. Get your roasts and other items. And now, how to cook a roast. All right. Very simple. First thing you got to do is you got to thaw it out, because the USDA requires a farm like ours to have all our meats frozen. Very easy to thaw your meat. Take it home from the farm stand, put it in the fridge. Depending on the size of the roast, it's going to take 3 to 4 days to thaw out. So, you're getting a little close now to Christmas. If you're cooking it on Christmas, or if you're cooking it for New Year's, you're fine, obviously. You can also, don't just leave it on the counter. Please don't do that. It takes too long, too much chance for contamination. What you can do, large bowl of water in the sink, put it in the bowl of water. That will, the conductive energy of a large bowl of water will draw in heat more than just being in your refrigerator, and that will thaw it relatively quickly, within a few hours. Keep an eye on it, touch it, if you see it's getting soft, get it out, get it into the fridge. So now, thawed, ready to cook. Take it out of the fridge. I'd say, wait, before I go on, I just want to point out to folks, when you open up that package of beef and you see all that red liquid inside, that is not blood. That's not how slaughter works. Animals are slaughtered at the facility, and there's no blood. All the blood is drawn out of them at that time. What that is myoglobin. That's essentially, it's a little more complex than this, but I'll be quick. It's essentially water colored with iron, which, as you know, iron is a red product. More complicated than that, but that's basically what it is. It's not blood. So take it out of the plastic, dry it off really well. You want your meat to be really dry, before you put any spices or anything on it, because, the drier the meat, the better things are going to adhere to it, and the better that you're going to get a nice char on the outside. You don't need a roasting pan. You can use any old sheet pan. If you do have a rack in the sheet pan, that's really nice, because it's nice to keep it a little off the sheet pan, but you don't have to. You can put it right on the bottom of the sheet pan. Just pay attention to it closely so it doesn't burn and stick to the sheet pan. Or if you have a roasting pan, you want to use a roasting rack, that's fine. It's you can't, but you don't need to. What I would recommend, very, very, very light coating of oil, like barely any oil. You don't really need it by any means, but I just recommend that just a tiny bit for just a little safety on the sticking part of things with the salt and pepper. So light coat of oil, and then salt and pepper. I use kosher salt. Sprinkle it from above and let it coat the entire meat. Use a lot more salt than you think you're going to use when the kosher salt. If you're not using kosher salt, be a little less generous. And then pepper. That's it, in my opinion. That's all you need for Blackbird Farm roast, salt and pepper. Now, that doesn't mean you can't add more if you want. You want to go some herbs. You want to add some, rosemary, thyme, garlic powder, onion powder. You want to do those things? Feel free. Not going to stop you. It's your roast. I'm a salt and pepper guy. So that's it. Light coat of oil, canola oil, something neutral, or very neutral olive oil. Salt and pepper. Let it sit for about an hour before you put it in the oven. Just let it, acclimate to the outdoor temperatures. Or kitchen temperatures, rather, not outdoor temperatures, sorry. Next, put your probe in. Stick this into you want to put it in an angle to the center of the meat as best as possible. This part should be in the middle of your roast. Try and get this in there, however you do it. Set your probe alarm. There's an alarm on here. Now, I like my meat really rare. So I set my alarm to 108 because this is a two-stage cooking. This is not the final temperature, it's the next to final temperature. If you don't like it that rare, go with like 112. But I would recommend setting it around 112, maybe, 115 if you really like it medium rare. I'm sorry, medium well. Take the roast, put it in a cold oven, cord out the oven, this on the counter, the alarm set. Turn the oven on to 250 is what I like. It's going to take a few hours. If you're in a rush, you can go up to 300 or 325. If you're cutting close on time. But 250 is what I like. It'll take a few hours depending on the size of the roast. If it's a big roast, it's going to take maybe 3 hours. A smaller roast is going to take 1 to 2 hours. But you want to cook a slow temp for those first few first cook. Excuse me. So let it take that slow rise. It's going to cook. The heat's going to penetrate in, but because it's so low and slow, it's not going to penetrate deep. So the whole roast is going to cook a beautiful rare at 112 or 108 in my case. You're going to take that out when it hits, and then it hits alarm. You're going to put it on the counter. You're going to let it sit. Don't touch it. If you leave the probe in with the thermometer, you're going to see it's going to slowly coast up more. Probably going to gain another 5 to 8 degrees. That's why I say if you put it in and you set it for 112, it's going to hit 120, and then we're going to do the second cook to crisp up the outside, and that's going to hit it up to 130, which is going to be about medium rare for you. That's why I started 108, because I want to end around 125, which is rare for me. Now, while it's sitting on the counter there, you got to let it sit there for half an hour. Do not touch it for half an hour. Turn the oven up to 500 degrees. After the half hour is over, your oven is at 500. Take the roast, put it back in the oven for 10 minutes, possibly 15, but really 10 is what you want for a crispiness on the outside. Watch it. Watch your alarm. Watch your temps. You just want to get a nice little char on the outside, a nice crispiness on the outside, and then you want to get it out because again, it's going to keep carrying that heat. So 10, check it at 5, check it at 10. If you really feel like it's not getting there, your temp's not that high, check it at 15, but 10 is my average at 500 degrees. Take it out, let it sit again. Now you don't need to let it sit as long this time. If you're ready for dinner, I wouldn't slice into it right away, but a 15-minute wait at this point is not good. You don't have to wait another half hour. And that's it. You've made a perfect roast, an absolutely perfect roast. If you have a pork roast or one of our roasts with a big fat cap on it, you could score the fat before you cook it. Things like that can be done. But really, what I said is the way to go. Tiny bit of oil just to coat, salt and pepper. Probe thermometer. 112 on the probe thermometer if you're shooting for medium rare to medium. pull it at 112, let it sit for half an hour, crank the oven to 500. I'm sorry, the first cook was at 250. Crank the oven to 500, half an hour, put it back in, 10 minutes, pull it out. You should see it at that point around 130. It's going to coast to maybe 135 tops, medium, medium rare. Done. You want it more rare? Pull it at 108 or 107. You be the judge. But the beauty of this thing is if you pay attention to the thermometer, you've got the probe, you can't go wrong. You just can't. I'd say rare is 120 to 125, medium rare 125 to 130, medium 130 to 135. You can find beef charts online that tell you these things, but temperature doesn't lie. As long as the probe is in the center of the roast, you know, where it should be. That's it. I don't think I've gotten any questions, so I'm not gonna have any to answer. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Please head on over to the farm stand and say hello to Anne-Marie. Wish her a very merry. She's been great over there. We've been talking all day, and like I said, it's been a record day. Thank you all so much out there for buying meats from Blackbird Farm. I know the family really appreciates it. I was up there yesterday and saw everyone. Everyone's very excited to be raising meat for you and to be selling meat to the public. And we've got a lot of good things coming in the new year. New website, new all sorts of things. I've been taking pictures like crazy, building a new website, writing a lot of stuff. It's been a lot of fun. I like doing it. Thank you very much for watching, and happy holidays to everyone out there. Take care.